Not long ago, I received a commission for a custom pair of shorts on my Ko-fi page. So today, I will be walking you guys through on how I made these lovely pair of shorts, everything I've done, all the materials I've used, and showing you guys the process of it. When I asked them for what size I should get them, they said they're a women's size 14. However, they wanted that almost streetwear, cybercore type fit. So I said to them, why don't we look at men's sizes? When I compared the men's sizes, 14 fell in between 34 and 36. I'm going to measure both pairs and send it to them, and they can tell me which pair I should work on, and I will send the other one back. Once they confirmed the correct size to me, I sent the others back and I sketched the design digitally, so all on my iPad. Obviously, this allowed me to send a draft to the commissioner without me actually working on the trousers and accidentally ruining them or doing something they might not like. So I went with the safer option of sketching it on my iPad in Procreate, and once they checked that off and were happy with the designs, I got to actually painting. So for the actual paint, I will be using Pebello Sotocolor, which is a special fabric paint, and I'll be putting that into a needle tip bottle, which I got both from Amazon. And I do this because it allows me to have a lot more control over how I put the paint on the fabric instead of using a paintbrush. It has been tried, it has been tested. I found that I get so much more control with a needle tip than a paintbrush, but obviously you do whatever. And another thing, the buyer actually asked me for a tramp stamp design on the back of the shorts. So that is what I will be working on in this section. That hasn't been added in the iPad design, but it has been requested. So just a quick note on that. Unlike most traditional works, when customizing clothes, you really only have one shot. So here I'm just trying to make sure that the tramp stamp is going to come out symmetrical, which thankfully it did. But I was also using a special fabric pen, a washable fabric pen, but I think people also use chalk to mark certain things on clothes when customizing them. But yeah, that worked really well for me. Quite a lot of this is freestyle, I won't lie. I did make a few subtle changes from the original design whilst making sure that it still looks the same. But by subtle changes, I mean adding a few more sparkles, an extra leaf. The seagulls are crying outside and they're being very loud. But anyways, I also have a Vinted page and I upload a lot of customized clothes on there as well. I don't just work on new clothes, I also work on secondhand clothes or stuff that maybe doesn't fit me anymore, or just giving an item a brand new life. I have a lot of stuff on my Vinted, only 2 at the minute, but there will be more in the future. So please check that out if you're interested. After I was done with the painting, I waited 48 hours for the paint to dry fully, and then I set it on the fabric with an iron. So I ironed each part of the design for at least 5 minutes per patch to make sure that the paint had fused to the fibers of the jeans. And to make sure that I didn't burn the paint, I used a piece of parchment paper in between the iron and the fabric. And this is the final product. I am very happy with how these came out, and hopefully the buyer will wear them for a long time to come. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!